You are now locked into the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Here is your host, Brandon Blakeney.
Notre Dame, man, I've been screaming it. And I will continue to die on this hill. They have been my dark horse to win the national title this season because of that backcourt. First of all, man, Kent says from Texas and a Hawk fan, your thoughts being a whole new team, coach, etc. I think they are one to watch even now. I mean, we're seeing, some talented players that aren't going to be protected. In particular, I saw Tiffany Hayes, Sydney Colson, some players, Courtney Vandersloot, Carly Lou Samuelson or Katie Lou Samuelson. Like, there's some talented players, Grace Berger, that I think, could be picked up by the Valkyries. And if they can get some shooters around Lauren Betts, they'll be exciting to watch. It may take some time, but, we've seen expansion teams have immediate success. Like, look at the Las Vegas Knights in the NHL. Went to the Stanley Cup Finals their first year. So, yeah, I mean, you just never know. It's a lot of excitement and optimism. And I love that they have the backing of the Warriors as well. But yeah, Notre Dame definitely has been my dark horse. I think they have the best backcourt in the country. With Sonia Citron, I just dropped a video about her defensive masterclass on Juju Watkins. She still had 24, but it was a hard-earned 24, man. Like Sonia Citron, 6'1". Coach Ivy, they compared her to Jackie Young, who's another Irish guard. 6'1", very versatile skill set, can score it from anywhere, plays off ball, doesn't need to dominate the ball to score. Good mid-range game, can operate in the pick and roll as a secondary ball handler. She's been shooting between 35 and 40% the last 2 years from three, knockdown three-point shooter. Sonia Citron is the real deal. She gave Juju Watkins hell. Fighting off screens, denying her the basketball off ball, challenging shots, blocking shots, following her all over the court. USC definitely could have done a better job of calling some screens off ball, calling some sets, some plays for Juju to spring her or get her open, because Sonia Citron was making it a long night and a very tough night. And it was too much 1-on-3 pick and roll ISO plays that was going on, man. I think they need to get Kaylee Heckle, get her a chance. Get her a chance. Give Kaylee Heckle a chance to run that point guard spot for USC. I think she could be good. But it was a long night. It was a very impressive performance from Notre Dame. I think they did a great defensive job just as a team. Olivia Miles, Hannah Hidalgo, two of the best guards in the nation as well. I genuinely just think they have the best backcourt from a star power. They might not be the deepest, but from just a standpoint of having the most production and star power. I mean, Citron, 9 points, 3 rebounds, but you talk about the defensive performance. And then Hannah Hidalgo and Olivia Miles carrying the offense, combining for 44 points, 15 assists, and 14 rebounds. Are you kidding me? Hidalgo's probably the best on-ball defender other than Sonia Citron. They probably have the two best, and Flage's in that conversation for sure and some others, but between Hannah Hidalgo and Sonia Citron, they probably have the top two, I'm going to say it, top two perimeter defenders. You could throw Flage in there too, like I said, though. But, when you just talk about strapping up and stripping an opponent and taking it the other way, like Olivia Miles and Hannah Hidalgo and Sonia Citron are locking guards up, man. Like, they are locking ball handlers up. I think Maddie Westbeth is going to be a big addition when she gets back. She was their main post scorer last year, most productive inside player. They didn't really have a true five that was productive. Kate Koval has put all of that to rest. They did a great job on Kiki Raven. Every time she touched it and tried to go middle of the court, they were trapping. They just completely clamped down on her, took her out of her game, made stuff tough for Juju, and nobody else really got involved. But Koval, one of the leading shot blockers in the country, rebounds it well, very, very polished at the 5'4" freshman. Nice offensive game, continuing to develop. She's just really, really efficient on both ends right now, and she's filling a big hole. She's able to anchor the paint for them. They did not have that last year, and it's a big difference. You can tell it's lifted them into another stratosphere. To be honest with y'all, USC went deeper into their roster. Notre Dame, not a super deep team, but they're deep enough. This backcourt, I mean, Olivia Miles shooting it at an all-time high from three. Big guard, can get to the cup, draws a lot of fouls, always in attack mode, always going downhill. Elite court vision, plays the one, but can play off ball if you want to run it with Hannah Hidalgo. Committed defender, high IQ, sees play like just always ahead. Head always up on the fast break. I just love her feel for the game. Hidalgo, younger, was forced to grow up really quick last year, got the ball immediately in her hands, got the keys to the kingdom immediately with Olivia Miles out. Maybe the quickest guard with the basketball in the country. Explosive first step. Uses the entire court. Love the way she just gets to her spots. Great at just getting angles, man. Like she just can get anywhere she needs to on the court. Mid range, she's got it. Elite layup package, can blow by you. Elite range on the three ball. Consistent playmaker. Unselfish, flashy with the dimes. She's a walking highlight, man, and she's a nearly impossible to cover in the open court. Pesky defender. I mean, just a straight ball hawk will just make you uncomfortable for 94 feet, man. Like, just dog competitor, emotional. Love her game, man. Love her approach. Hannah Hidalgo definitely deserves her flowers. She went in there and snatched Juju's chain. She's one of the best players in the entire country, and she stood on business. Hannah Hidalgo absolutely stood on business for Notre Dame. And then we talked about Citron already, lockdown defender, 6'1". When you talk about the WNBA, how wide open it's becoming, and how these big wings and guards are starting to dominate, you need a Citron on your squad that can guard multiple spots and make things very difficult, but also can make the defense pay if they don't respect their offense. So yeah, I think she's going to be really elite in the league as a defender, as a 3-and-D player. I think she's probably the best 3-and-D player in the country, to be honest with y'all. Indiana Fever, man, they might not mess around. I definitely think they should go ahead and take Citron, man. She'd be a great addition to that team. I think she's gonna be really, really good at defending those big guards, those big scoring threats that are taking over the league right now in the WNBA. It's pace and space, shooting a lot of threes, running a lot of transition, man. You need ball stoppers. You need players that can pick up. You need players that can guard multiple spots, switch at a moment's notice with all this pick and roll. So yeah, man, Notre Dame did their thing. I think it was an impressive effort from them. Going to the rankings, you could definitely see UCLA shooting up to number one potentially. I don't know if they jump UConn, but maybe they do because they have a bigger win than UConn does right now, and they beat South Carolina in impressive fashion. And Don Staley was pissed the whole time on that sideline. You could definitely tell. And rightfully so. But this is what she wanted. She wanted them to be battle tested. South Carolina is playing for March and April. They are not concerned with wins right now, a win streak. They're not really, dying on wins that are happening in November. This team scheduled this gauntlet of a non-conference schedule to be prepared for the SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament. This is what they wanted. They wanted competition. They wanted to get tested. I think we may have overhyped South Carolina and USC a bit. That's not to say they're not going to reach the peaks that we had, of the expectations that were put on them. But no team is a finished product yet. And I'm not here to condemn any team or say they're in trouble or anything like that. Other than, I don't know, USC might be in a little trouble in the Big Ten. Just a little bit, man. Because the Big Ten is tough. And they got to find an identity. They need to figure out who the point guard is going to be. So USC has a lot more work to do and a lot more to figure out right now than I think South Carolina does as far as finding an identity. South Carolina, I mean, we know their culture. They've been doing it for a long time. We know their identity. We know the standard there. There is no number one post player right now. So they're going to have to figure that out. They're going to have to figure out a balance. And it was weird not seeing Malaysia Fort Wiley tonight either, man. This was a game where I thought Malaysia for a while it could have been very impactful off the bench. They missed her tonight. They definitely missed her tonight. She's been the second leading scorer on this team. Chloe Kitts did not deliver. They definitely could have. And I'm sure Don Staley will elaborate, and we'll have a update on what was going on. But because it wasn't like an injury or anything occurred that we saw that was noticeable. So yeah, it was strange. We did not see Malaysia fool Wiley, man. That's tough, especially with the season she's been having. Hey, kid, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Much love, much love. Thank you. As a Fever fan, I hope we get Satsu. We are going to be the team to beat next season. That offense is going to be explosive. I think they're going to be very versatile, and the defense will definitely improve under Stephanie White. Defense will definitely improve under her, without a doubt. They'll play more physical. They'll be tougher. Definitely appreciate it. Y'all have been waiting for SC Gamecocks W to lose. Just who they lose to. I mean, everybody's got to lose at some point, but this loss does not define the season. I will tell you that right now. And they got to bounce back quick because they got Iowa State on Thanksgiving, and Audie Crooks and Addie Brown are the real deal. Guys, if this is your first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share. Join our memberships. I got exclusive content for you guys daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Follow us at Brandon Lee TV on all social media. And hey, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in right now. Yeah, I think South Carolina will be just fine. They will figure it out. Chloe Kitts will get back to form. Malaysia Full Wiley could have been impactful in this game. Don Staley rises the hot hand. Tessa Johnson and Tina Pow were definitely bright spots for this team. They need more production from the paint. They're gonna have to figure it out. I think Miriam Dowder could be valuable though down the stretch. I really do. If she just continues to get confident shooting that three ball, teams are gonna look at what UCLA did, packing the lane and turning South Carolina into a jump shooting team. They're gonna have to overcome that, and I think they will. And they're not gonna miss that many layups on a given night either. They're definitely not gonna be missing layups like that on a regular basis. But Notre Dame deserves all the credit. As far as USC, they have a lot of talent. It sucks that Kennedy Smith went down, one of their starters, five-star recruit, McDonald's All-American, was having a good season for USC, productive season. I hate that Kennedy Smith is going to miss extended time. They will absolutely miss her. Kiki Urafen, she had one bad game, not sweating it too much. She didn't look like a number one or two draft pick last night, but I mean, it was a good defensive strategy. She's been productive all season though. Juju Watkins is going to be elite. She's got to be more efficient. And they got to stop relying on her to be the primary ball handler. Let her play the wing. Let her worry about scoring baskets. Because if she's the primary ball handler, she's going to have to be more of a playmaker, period. So they got to figure that out. Who's going to be the point guard for this group? Who's going to initiate the offense? Who's going to spread the ball around? Who's going to quarterback this thing? Because it can't just be Juju going 1-on-3 and pick and rolls. Because other teams are going to look at what Notre Dame did. Notre Dame did as well. Pressuring that basketball. But yeah, they just got to figure it out. They got to figure out their identity. It's a lot of new pieces to Leah Von Ohlhoff. I think will be better. She'll play better. They're still figuring it out. It's a lot of new faces on this team.